Hi friends, it's Michelle. Welcome to my creative channel. You may know me as Tape and Twine from Instagram, and today we are going to make a really beautiful and fun project using wildflowers growing in our yard and some really simple products we probably already have in our craft room. I think you're really going to enjoy this very easy beginner project. Let's jump right in. So here I am in my kitchen ready to start the project. I'm going to be using pressed flowers. That means if you have already existing pressed flowers, you're going to be able to jump right into this project. If you don't, you have a couple choices. If you have a microwave press, you can press your own on the spot, or you can use die cut flowers or small die cuts or stamps or other things for this project. So if you don't have flowers, keep on watching because you are not going to be left out. Fussy cuts would work as well. So my Microfleur flower press has changed my life. I absolutely adore it. It presses flowers and retains their color in 1 minute flat. I will link a video below if you want to learn more. I'm going to press this stack of flowers and I'll meet you in my craft room. The items you'll need for this project include pressed flowers or small nature die cuts or fussy cuts. You'll also need lamination pouches and a laminator. Everything else you'll need is just really basic paper craft supplies like glue and washi. So here I am with my laminator, and depending on how thick the flowers are is what setting I'll put on here. I have my plate full of flowers I made, and I don't know if you can see the pouch I have, and I only have a few left, so I need to be very careful with how I use these. So these pouches, my thought process is if I fold it this way and this way, I'm going to have a great little envelope. So what I have to do is, I think what I need to do is make some kind of template so that I can tell where I'm going to lay my flowers. So if I take a pen, and I've never done this, I'm just completely winging it, I have no idea. If I want my envelope to be sort of bigger down here and then a flap like that, I'm just gonna do a fold there, see if it'll take. Oh, and it does. Okay, so let's say if I center this on the page, actually centering it is dangerous. Let's say we're gonna put it on the edge. Will be the front flap, which goes this way. It's a terrible arrow. And then this is the bottom flap, and it goes this way. And then this is the center. This is all of the envelope, and I want everything oriented this way. So the flowers should be standing up. And then, actually, if I have an arrow, if I put all the little plants this way, they're going to be upside down. So the plants need to be this way, and the plants need to be. Isn't that awful? It's the worst drawings ever. And then if I want them to be right side up here, they need to be upside down here too. Does that make sense? So that when they fold, they'll all be in the right direction. So I need to take a ruler. I know you're all really relieved I'm going to actually use a ruler here. Let's just make a line so that we have an idea of how many flowers we put where and how we put them. Let's see if I can make this work. So I'm going to line my pouch up with the line right here. I'm actually going to need to move this for a minute. I'm going to put my ruler here, that way it stays in place. And then I'm going to start playing with my flowers. So I like the idea of this one. It's a little big, so I'll need to trim it. And I think I'm going to have to really use something to hold this down, or be very careful, one or the other. I think I'll use something to hold it down. Okay. I think I like the idea of a flower there. And maybe something that sort of trails off here, like that. And when I fold the fold up, I want there to be layering. So I'm not going to put a flower here. Instead, I'm going to put a flower here so that when it comes up, it'll be layered there. So let's put a columbine here. And remember, it has to be upside down. And if that doesn't make sense, it will. And I'm going to take a little bit of a piece of greenery. Let me see. Maybe this one. And I'll put it here. And I think it's important I don't overdo. So maybe I'll put something small here, so that it comes in this piece here. So what do I have that's small? Maybe just some greenery. And I'll get probably a little bit braver after I do this more than a couple times. But since this is my first time through, maybe I'll make it point the other way. And that's not a lot, right? There really isn't a lot there. I'm going very, very conservative because I haven't done this yet. I don't want to overdo. And then the other thing I want to try to see is there any kind of like little sticker or embellishment that I would put in? Maybe like a stamp. A stamp might be fun. Let's see what I have. Now you're going to see how many stamps I have. So this French stamp is really cute. I don't know if you can see it. What I could do, right? Well, here's two that are already, they're exactly the same, and they're green. So I'm going to glue them back to back because remember, this is see-through and I don't want to see the back of the stamp. Okay. And then what I can do is, I think I'm going to put it, tuck it right here underneath that plant. And then I also have these green United States stamps. Okay, maybe they're not quite as pretty as the French stamps, but they're okay, unless I want to go with maybe a purple. All right, those two match. Let's do a purple. And again, we have to make sure we put them in the right place. So now I'm going to very carefully, hopefully very carefully, I'll move this up just a little bit because I feel like that And any kind of dirt is going to make a bubble. So you have to make sure there is nothing on here. And then you're going to slowly get that piece of leaf off. Slowly. Close the pocket. Let me get our laminator out. Move some things around. It is all ready. Obviously, I want the piece of paper from underneath not to go, well, I guess it could go through with it, but it doesn't really have, it doesn't make a difference. And I just don't really want anything to move. So as soon as it catches, I'm going to grab that piece of paper out. There it goes. And it's very important that you reach for the paper and guide it through so it doesn't get stuck on itself, which sometimes they do when you don't hold it. And it's very important to hold this as straight as you can. You want to try to get the best press that you can. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, so it doesn't look like much, right? It looks pretty random. However, let's see if I did it right. If I fold this up, this goes the right way, and if I fold this down, the only thing I don't like about the fold down is I have the back of the flower, and I should have thought about that. And I think if I fold it the other way, this way works too. So I guess you just need to kind of see how you're going to fold it. So I kind of see how my envelope is going to roughly be. Now let's see what else I can add, and then I'm going to try to sew it. So I'm not sure we can really fold these that well, but I'm going to try. I'm going to line up the edge. And I think what I'll do is maybe use a clip. And then I'll see what else I can add before I sew it. And then if I fold this down, that's going to be cute. So then the question is, what other things can I add? I feel like I could add some really pretty washi tape, maybe on the outside. Let me put this aside so we can kind of see what we're doing. And maybe I'll put that piece of paper under it so it's easier for you to see. I think I want some washi tape is really what I think I want. Okay. I have this Ledger washi tape, which might look really cool on the edge here. So let me put that on. I don't think I'm going to continue it onto the next side. I want to see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. And then on the back, you can still see it on the back, which is really nice. So I think I need something thinner, or maybe something that isn't quite as straight over here. So I have this really pretty washi tape, which just ripped very much not straight, which is kind of cool. And I may put some of it, well, let me see. I want to line it up with the edge. All right, that's cute. I do need to trim it. Just like that. All right, and then I obviously want a little something else. Let's go back into this really cool washi tape that's really big, and it has all these pictures and things on it. And let's see what else is on there. So let's cut this so I don't dip into it. I have a little, it has a little bit of a postmark there with I'm thinking a little like collage, right? You're just trying to put a few elements here and there. There's this beautiful script, which if I rip like this, I could put on the edge like that. Although it's backwards that way, and I'm not sure I want it backwards, so I will put it on this side. And that looks okay. I'm actually not sure if I like that piece. I feel like something needs to go there, but I'm not sure what. I feel like some kind of doily could go there, or something round. What if I cut the round postmark out here? And then I will sew it on the sewing machine. Okay, so that is super cute. It's very sturdy, but the question is right now, how will this stay shut? Because really, let's face it, I can really use my bone folder, which I will do. Let's make sure I have this lined up. And I can really work this, but it's not going to stay fully down. So I think what needs to happen is I think there needs to be something that keeps it down. Either something that this slides into. you know, something kind of pretty like that. The only problem is you would need to sew that on before you sewed this. You know, some kind of a tab like that, that then you could just slide this underneath it. You could also have a tie. That would be a very easy way to solve this problem, is by using some eyelets. I got these eyelets at a estate sale. Wasn't sure when I was going to use them. This would be the perfect time. I could take, let's see, I could take a purple, since we have purple, right? Let me think about this. If I had an eyelet down here, right? And then I had a little tiny, like, maybe a little elastic here. I could just hook on. So let's see. Right? So here's a little white eyelet, and here's a little fastener, a purple fastener. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get my handy-dandy puncher out. And let's see. Visually, I'd probably want it right there. That always works. Maybe I have too much gunked up in here. It's quite possible. I never think to like get rid of all these papers, but man, I got quite a few in there. Okay. Now let's put the little grommet in there, or the eyelet. I always say grommet, but and then the thing is, we need to have a little hole down here. And see, this is why I love these sets, because, you know, it doesn't, you can make the hole any place on the page. So I even have lines, so I can line it up. Perfect little hole there. I just put my fastener in. Unfortunately, I think I might see the back of the fastener, which is kind of a bummer, but and then all I need to do is put a little bit of elastic there. And this is a $1 stretch elastic from the dollar store. And look, it comes in purple. So I'm going to just peel a little bit off, not even that much at all. Stick that sticky back on there so I don't have myself a situation after. And then what I can do is figure out, I don't think this needs to be very big at all. Or it can just wrap around, I suppose. Let's see. Like that. I was going to hook it. I suppose if I wanted to hook it, I should have put it down here. That way I could have pulled it down. But I didn't. So In this particular case, it's just going to be a wraparound, which is fine. And the thing is that for a first try, I'm going to take these little threads. I don't mind threads, but I think in this case I'd like to tie them and snip them. That's a very cute envelope. So then I can picture taking a handwritten letter or some ledger paper. Here's just a piece of tea-dyed paper. You can imagine if there was a beautiful letter that you wrote to a friend on it. And you, let's say you wrote this letter and you wanted to include it to your friend. You could open your envelope, slide the letter inside, and look how pretty that looks. You could probably even mail it like this with postage on it. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But look how cute that looks. You could make them different sizes. You could put ephemera in them. I just think this is a really sweet little idea. So let's see what other ones we can make. So I decided to try a few other arrangements with flowers, and I had done these daisies in my Microfleur. And I'm going to show you this just as a major fail. I don't think it would be a major fail if I had let the daisies dry out for a few days. But because the daisies have that really kind of thick spot in the center, even the microwave dryer just could not drive out the center. And as they were pressed with the heat, they just squashed and smeared all over my acetate. I mean, look at that. It's nasty. I'm all for trying to fix a mistake or making the most of a mistake, but that's pretty gross. So, lesson learned, if you're doing daisies, make sure, or something thick, make sure that center is super dry before you throw it through the laminator, because if it's not, it's going to squish that center. So I'm going to try something new. So I spent the rest of the afternoon just playing, just putting different flowers on different envelopes, having fun with, trying to play with layers. What would it look like if I folded it here? Then I had this bright idea, let's change the orientation. Let's make some of these up and down and make smaller pockets, or make them bigger pockets. And rather than, making this video 3 hours long, I'm just going to cut to the chase and show you some of the things that I made. I will say that first envelope, beginning to end, took, less than an hour to make, and there was a lot of learning in that. So this is definitely something I can see once you kind of get the hang of how you want it to be, it could go pretty fast. And I also wanted to show you, if you don't have a sewing machine, washi tape works very good on the edges and is very effective. I would recommend a template. That really did help me stay in my lines. So I would definitely make a template for yourself, maybe for different kinds of envelopes. If you have access to wildflowers or a garden, This is super fun, and you can get lamination pouches really cheap. Laminators aren't expensive either. And by the way, I see that at estate sales all the time in people's home offices. So let's just cut to the chase, and I'll show you some of the things that I've made. Okay, guys, I've moved to a different location in my house where the light is better. It's a very dark day, and I am done my project, and I can't wait to show you the outcome. I am so incredibly happy with how they came out. So I'm going to show you first what I made in the afternoon session, and I can't believe how much fun they were. From placing the flowers on the lamination, so creative, then folding it and sewing it, so creative, then adding the little details, so fun. Every part of this project was super fun. So this was our first envelope. This is how it ended up. Trying not to get the glare, which is hard, right? Because it's like plastic. And I'll try not to shake the camera, but you can kind of see this is how this one came out. And with nothing in it, I think it's really pretty, but wait till you see how these look loaded. Then this one I came up with, I put a little Velcro closure. I sewed lace on the underside of the flap and embedded a butterfly. And again, with a little washi, I tried to keep it somewhat simple, right? I mean, I tried to keep it so that when I load it, it's not competing too much. So those were the two big ones that I made. Then I had super fun with small ones. So this one here, very simple, just a couple of flowers. There's a few flowers on the back. Couple stamps I added on after, and I made a document envelope closure on this one, just with two clasps, two brads, and just some cardboard. And it was super easy to make. A little bit of washi, a little bit of sewing. I think that one came out really cute. I adore this one. This one, I took washi tape and ran it on the top and the bottom, and then made like a little flap that then I put a eyelet in, and then I'm using twine to just tie it shut. Just enough to keep that flap shut. And I love the blue jumping off, and there's really not a lot of flowers on this one. It's relatively simple, and I think it's going to look really cool loaded. Then I decided to do two with just clip closures. In other words, keep it simple, just a little bit of washi, a little bit of, just this one only has one flower on it and a butterfly, a little bit of washi tape and a stamp. And I'm closing it with just a really pretty, one of those like interesting paper clips that we can buy. I thought that was just really cute. And then finally, I have this little guy that is a similar thing. Just I picked a yellow paper clip because it's a yellow flower, and just a little bit of washi tape on the outside, a couple of stamps this stamp was put on the inside of the lamination, this one's on the outside, and they're super effective. I absolutely love them, and I'm already thinking of more ideas I could do with them because I did this in a few hours. The other thing that's fun is I have more that I didn't make. So if you have a lamination session, you could have a whole stack like this one here. I have an idea for. I want to do a bigger one, and I want to do a cloth cover, like a cloth envelope top. Like I have a whole stack that I can do at another time. So you could just do a lamination session one day and then have them ready at the go when you need them. So let's stuff them, and they get even better. So here's a little run through of what these envelopes look like stuffed. I tried to combine vintage ephemera, graph paper, ledger paper, bank checks, and some beautiful wildlife cigarette cards in these envelopes to either play off the colors of the wildflowers or the stamps, and I think it's very effective. So that's it. That's my first stab at making beautiful little ephemera pouches out of lamination pieces and dried flowers and some little stamps and things we have hanging around our desk. I can see where this would be so incredibly addicting. I just want to keep making them. And there's just so much fun and so neat. And I hope you liked it. I hope you found inspiration. I hope it gave you ideas. After all, this is just a jumping off point. I can't even imagine the additional things that can be created with such simple items. Thank you for sharing your time with me, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like the like button below. I work hard on these videos and it means a lot to me if you could just acknowledge that you watched it by pushing the like, and it helps my channel so very, very much. I can't wait to make more content for you. I hope you guys all have a creative weekend up ahead. Take care. Bye.